Hey guys, what's up? It's your host with the most, the real Tay Nicole, and we're back at it again with another. Hold on, guys. Something seems off. Wait a minute. Ah, that feels much better. Christmas attire for a Christmas episode. So, I'm gonna say Merry Christmas to all, and I hope everyone's having a wonderful Christmas and had a wonderful Christmas Eve. I hope your new year, as it rolls in, is as fabulous as you guys have been. I really appreciate everyone who has subscribed, tuned in week to watch me talk about these movies. Everyone has been so helpful, and I appreciate it. I'm still striving for them 100 subscribers as my goal by the end of the year. So we got like 25 more people that can subscribe that can help me get to that 100 subscribers, and I really, really would appreciate it. But Christmas wouldn't be Christmas, and an episode for Christmas wouldn't be an episode for Christmas if I wasn't in Christmas attire right next to a Christmas tree. Well, you guys know that it's your host, The Real Nicole, and I'm always coming back with a good episode for you guys. You know I always bring you the tea. But today, we're going to have a good old Christmas special. Milk and cookies. Right along with us talking about our new episode for this week. This is episode 23. And see, had I started this podcast maybe a week or two early, this would be episode 25 for 25. But unfortunately, it's episode 23 for December 25th. But nonetheless, we're going to get into it. Let me get that off of there. You guys know I have to, I have to get my notes out because unfortunately your host with the most has a bad memory and sometimes I can't remember things. Anyway, like I was saying, we're on episode 23 for the podcast, the movie break. And usually I would tell you guys the name of the movie up front, but first I want to do something a little different. Um I want to start off by saying this movie was released on November 6th, 2024. My first time watching this was this month. And I held on this long because it took a lot for me not to watch this movie because there was two of my favorite people in this movie. And then there was other people in the movie that I know of and that I like as well, but two gentlemen in particular were in this film that I adore. One of which I went to school with. But anyway, so this movie was released November 6th, 2024. You can only watch this movie on Netflix. The movie is roughly an hour and 46 minutes long. It was directed by Rusty Cundiff. Y'all know me, and names don't mix. So if I say these names wrong, you can read them on the screen like normal. And I'm sorry. But I usually don't start with the character listing before I tell y'all the movie, but I want to tell you the character listing, at least some of the character listing before I mention the name of the movie and see if you guys can guess it as I talk through this process. So for the very first character, you have seen her in Love Don't Cost a Thing, Man of the House, Baggage Claim, Be Cool, and Falling in Love. She's also a songwriter, a model, and of course, an actress. She has made several other appearances in several different things and is doing great things with her life. No one other than Miss Christina Milian. Now, Christina Milian plays Layla, or a Layla, whichever one you want to call her, because in the movie they called her a Layla and Layla. That's the character she plays. Then you've seen this gentleman in Christmas Fumble, A Piece of Me, an episode of For the Fellas. You've also seen him in Tyler Perry's hit show Sisters and Tyler Perry's hit show Zatima. This is no one other than author, publisher, father, and all around goofy, great entertainment gentleman, Mr. DeVal Ellis. He played Teddy in this movie. The next gentleman, you've seen him in An American Pickle, For Christmas Sake, Snack on This, Holiday Bacon Championship Gingerbread Showdown, and Cake-a-Likes. He reigns from Kansas City, Kansas. He's a comedian, an internet sensation, a Sumner alumni. Like I said, also we went to school together. Very great gentleman that he's a personality star, very charismatic. Definitely seen this gentleman going as far as he did, and very proud of him to say the least. Mr. Kalen Allen. He played Jordy in this movie. Currently, you can see Kalen on Elf on Broadway. I'll put the information down at the bottom. If you are in New York or visiting New York, please feel free to stop by and see Mr. Allen and his other castmates on stage on Elf on Broadway at the Marquee Theater. He's doing great things, very great actor. I'm very proud of that young man. Um, Let me keep it rolling because I'll go on and on and on. By the way, Elf on Broadway is, as of right now, been extended to January 4th of 2025. So, like I said, if you have time, go check him out and tell me what you think. Next up, you've seen this young man in Insecure, Girls Trip, Queen Sugar, Really Love, and The Long Shots. And I was surprised about The Long Shots because I didn't recognize that he was even in there at first. He's an actor and a model, of course, and it's no one other than Kofi Cerebo. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If I butchered it, I am so sorry. Um, he plays James in this film. This next young lady, she's been a voice actor and also has been seen in works such as Work It Out Wombats, Total Drama, Slip, The Marijuana Conspiracy, and Chateau Loire. Um, Her name is Miss Tamika Tafara. She played Roxy. Now let me run it back. I won't go over what all they've done, but once again, I want to state these characters one more time before I go into even more. Once again, you have Miss Christina Milian playing as Layla, DeVal Ellis playing as Teddy, Kalen Allen playing as Jordy. Ooh, I'm going to butcher his name. I'm so sorry. He's such a handsome man too. Coffee Cerebo as James, and Tamika Tafara as Roxy. And now that I've mentioned what they've all been in, you have now all seen these people. And if you haven't seen this movie yet, then of course you haven't seen them in it yet. But if you have seen this movie, you have now all seen them in Meet Me Next Christmas. Um, Now there are several other people still in the movie that I have not went over and mentioned yet. There was the group Pentatonics. They were in the movie, so it's Kevin O'Sulay, Christina Maldonado, Mitch Grassi, Scott Hoying, and Matt Sally, or Sally. I'm sorry, Sally to you. However, there are still a few more folks in this movie that I apologize. I almost skipped right over because I was so excited to really get into this movie. There is Miss Claire Riley as Angie. She plays Teddy's mom. Nikki Duvall as Becky. She plays the Pentatonics manager. Uh, Brandon Morgan as Tanner, which you'll find out who Tanner is in a second. And Miriam Corvell as Louise, which is Teddy's boss. Some of those people have a small role, nonetheless, but they still have an important role in the film that makes the film what the film is. I do apologize that I skipped over the cast like that. That was not my intention. So, as a quick rundown, one more good time, so we can make sure we have everyone listed appropriately. We have Christina Milian as Layla, DeVal Ellis as Teddy, Kalen Allen as Jordy, Kofi Cerebo as James, uh, Tamika Tafara as Roxy, uh, Claire Riley as Angie, Nikki Duvall as Becky, Brendan Morgan as Tanner, Miriam Carvel as Louis, or Louise, I'm sorry, and Kevin Osel as Kevin, Christina Maldonado as Christina, Mitch Grassi as Mitch, Scott Hoying as Scott, Matt Sally as Matt. Now we can jump into the movie. I apologize. I jumped way too far ahead. I apologize. Anyway, so once again, movie opens up with Layla on the phone with her boyfriend Tanner. They're on FaceTime discussing how she would be back in home in time for them to be able to go to the Pentatonics concert. Um, and he mentioned something about how they go see that every year. Like he's tired of going to go see the Pentatonics, basically. But it's clearly Layla's favorite band to go see, and that's her expression and whatnot. Um, as they end the phone call, she goes into what they call the Star Lounge, and it's mainly because it's a business travel, so she gets to use the Star Lounge. While she's in the Star Lounge, she's at the buffet, and she's getting ready to grab the last little quiche, and Teddy is reaching for it at the same time she reaches for it, and he's like, "Oh, you can have it," and she's like, "No, you got it," and he tells her like, "I'm here all the time, take it," and she's like, "Oh, I had like 4 or 5 of these things," and he like, "Girl, what the heck? Slow down on the quiche, ma'am." But nonetheless, he tells her she can have it, and he tells her that it's really good with sriracha, right? They have a back and forth little banter and conversation, and as he's getting ready to leave, or not banter, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to use the word banter, but they have a back and forth conversation, not necessarily flirty, but it was more than just a casual conversation almost. Nonetheless, as he's getting ready to leave, he bumps her and he drops these little cups or bowls. They're bowls. They're bowls, not cups. They're bowls. Drops these little bowls. He dropped 2 of them, but when the camera pans to him picking it up, he picks up 2, but you only see him with one in his hand when he stands all the way up. So naturally, if you're like me, you're like, where did the other cup or excuse me, where did the other bowl go? I mean, if you're like me, then you already guessed. He put the bowl in her bag. And he goes on about his day. And sorry, gotta turn my phone off so doesn't buzz. Um, he goes on about his day. She goes and has a seat, and then in walks James. Her and James, they sit and have a casual conversation, kind of getting to know each other a little bit and talking back and forth. This is Christmas Eve, by the way. Um, and they're talking back and forth and all this, if you will. And they finish up their conversation, and they both make a pact that if in a year's time, if they're both single and don't have anybody, she currently has someone though. Her boyfriend is Tanner. Um, and then if in a year's time she's single, he's single, they should meet up at the Pentatonics concert for their annual Christmas concert, and go from there, and let the life take its course, if you will. And uh, fix my head a little bit. Sorry. So that's the pact they make. They won't look each other up on the internet. They won't research each other. They won't do none of that. They will just let the universe take its course. Well, fast forward to a year later, and Layla's going home, and from here on out, spoiler. Everything from here is going to be a straight spoiler. I'm not going to be able to hold too much back, so sorry. But anyway, Layla ends, like I said, fast forward a year later. Layla. Fast forward a year later, and Layla goes home, and her boyfriend Tanner's in there cheating. He cheating. And she didn't take him back. She kicked him to the curb, gave him the boot, sent him on up out of there, right? Now she's single for Christmas. And she usually would buy a Pentatonics concert ticket every year. But because she was anticipating on breaking up with her boyfriend because he was cheating, she didn't because he wanted to go see Macklemore instead. So instead, she got Macklemore tickets. Go figure. And she and Roxy are best friends, really good friends, best friends. And she confides into Roxy and let Roxy know, like, he cheated. They having their girl powwow conversation, just like normal females and males do when they go through a breakup, especially if it's one that hurts the most. They sit and they talk to their closest friends they can trust. That's going to tell them what not only what they need to hear, but what they want to hear and what needs to be said as well. So they're talking back and forth, and she ends up telling her, like, "Yo, I remember this guy named James. I'm at the airport. He said if I'm ever single, to buy a Pentatonics concert ticket, and we'll meet up there, right?" So Roxy like, "Well, why you ain't never look him up?" And she explains why. Like, we let the universe do, its course. And Unfortunately, Pentatonics concert tickets are sold out. So she can't get one. So they're thinking of different ways, searching the internet, trying to get one off Craigslist, like going up and down, trying to get these Pentatonics concert tickets. And Roxy's like, yo, why don't you reach out to the Impromptu? That's the name of the company, Impromptu. I had to link back. I'm trying not to look at the notes because I'm trying to see how well I can remember this movie. Impromptu. And she's like, what the heck is that? And she was like, it's basically a concierge. They basically do what they have to do to help you get what you're looking for. Tickets, planes, whatever it is you're trying to find, they can typically help you find it, basically, right? And she's like, okay, set that up, but I'm still gonna be, searching through the web through this entire time. And this is where we meet Teddy again. And Teddy works at Impromptu. So I guess you can kind of see where this is going, right? Teddy works at Impromptu. His boss has he comes in with these goodies. He's a cook. He's a chef. He can cook his tail off. And he comes in with these baked goodies and giving everybody baked goodies, trying to sweeten the pot because he kind of knows his job is on the line. And his boss pretty much tells him like, yeah, you can cook, but your job is on the line, buddy. So you need to get it together. Come on, shake the scene. So she tells him like, since you have to prove yourself in order to keep your job, we have a client for you to deal with, for you to work with. And of course, who's his client? Layla. He introduces himself. Layla like, because he's not wearing a suit like everyone. Everyone else comes in business casual. He comes in casual, and she's like, I don't know if I could trust you. I don't know about that. And he's like, I promise you, I got you. Don't trip. And he's going through trying to find a ticket and runs into a dead end because the service that he usually uses to find a ticket not happening. Well, he knows of a gentleman who usually has tickets on hand for certain stuff like that, and that's where he thinks that they should go. Um, Also, ironically, because Teddy's a concierge, he kind of has connects with certain people. So he DM'd Becca, the Pentatonics manager, letting them know like, hey, I need a ticket for this girl. And really, Teddy's so selfless, by the way, because he prefers to give to people before he takes. That's how his character is. His character is a giver before he takes. And he's like, yo, this girl needs a ticket real bad. Like, can you help me out? No response right away from Becca, by the way. At this point, this is where the Pentatonics becomes invested in Teddy and Layla's journey on finding this ticket. And that's what they pretty much go through. They go through these journeys. The first journey they go through is trying to go find the gentleman who Teddy was talking about. Turns out that gentleman, his station is closed. So dead end. Well, Layla had got a message from a guy from, I think, Facebook Market maybe, who had a ticket and she was going to go meet up with him. Teddy tried to tell her, nah, don't do it. Mm-mm. But Layla did not want to listen. So they go meet up with this guy in a bar. Sketchiest place to meet somebody if you ask me to purchase something. But they meet up at a bar, and Teddy's steadily trying to tell her this is not a good idea. So he told her one price, but when she got there, he tried to haggle her for a different price. Because she's so desperate, she gives him the cash she had on hand and a necklace. And he's like, deal. Takes the necklace, takes the cash, and Teddy's still telling her this is not a good idea. So they look and they realize the ticket is from the year prior. So Teddy chases him down, grabs him. He had him. I don't know what Layla was doing or what aim she had, but Teddy had him. And yeah, the guy ducked a little bit, but she ends up pepper spraying Teddy instead of the guy. So she loses out on her cash and her necklace. And Teddy got pepper sprayed. And so it's like, bro, what? So Teddy has been trying to, make headway on getting her a ticket. So he's trying every source he can. Well, after getting pepper sprayed, they get another lead, and it's a rich couple who has a free ticket that they're willing to give up, but they have to come see them. And when they come and see them, and this how I know I'm doing good, y'all, because I ain't really looked at this thing yet, and I'm already halfway through the movie, pretty much. Um, so they go see these rich people for this ticket, and the gentleman, his name is Javier. Uh, by the way, the sketchy guy that Layla met with, his name was Davy, and he was played by David LaFontaine. By the way, forgot to mention that. Um, but anyway, they go meet with
I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore. Yeah, I don't think we're even in Manhattan anymore.
oh, they go meet up with these rich people, and the little clip I might have played, yeah, I got to see. The only reason I played this because of what she said. Like, I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Everyone uses um that little joke when they see something that looks modern or doesn't look old, so to speak. And at first I think to myself, was this a play on Kalen because he's from Kansas? Because that'd be hilarious. And I wonder if anybody else from the movie is from Kansas. I wonder. I should look that up. I should have looked that up before I did this episode. But anyway, back to what I was talking about. So they go meet up with these two people, Javier, who he look honestly he looks like a mix between Johnny Depp and Steven Tyler. That's what he looks like to me. And if you watch the movie, you'll get where I'm going with this because he does. He looks like a mix between Johnny Depp and Steven Tyler to me. And I don't know if the movie made him look that way or what, but that's just what he looks like. But so the guy who plays Javier, his name is Wesley French, and then the lady, his wife, played her name is Natasha. She was played by uh Pip Dower. I think that's how you pronounce her name. Anyway, they eventually separate the two. Javier takes Teddy and walks off with Teddy, talks to Teddy, and tells Teddy the way that they can get the ticket. Watch the movie to find out what they have to do to be able to get the ticket. And then Layla goes and talks to Natasha. And as they're talking, Teddy's talking to Javier, Natasha and Layla's talking, and Natasha offers Layla a red dress. And she's like, the only way you're going, and mind you, Layla's trying to get this ticket so she can go try to meet the man of her dreams. So she thinks that he is. And Natasha offers her this dress. She's like, no, I can't take that. And she's like, you must take it. And, blah, blah, blah. Well, Teddy comes and grabs Layla. And before they leave, Javier tells Layla, like, if this James character doesn't work out, you should definitely give Teddy a try. Because he's adorable. He's, loving. He's a good catch, is what he tells her, right? Now keep that in mind. Now, Teddy and Layla go back on this little journey to go and pick up what they're supposed to get in order for her to get this ticket from Javier and Natasha. And while they're on their little journey and walking, um, a mime pulls up. He's mocking them. He's doing little stuff. He's mocking her. He's mocking Teddy, and back and forth. Right? It was funny to me because if I was a mom, that's something I would do. I would go mock people just cause. But um, the mom situation happens, and they continue on their little journey. And as they're walking, they're talking and kind of learning a little bit about each other throughout this process, if you will. And once again, watch the movie to find out exactly what they're supposed to do on their journey. Well, while they're on their journey, Layla decides to be selfless and give up the very thing she needs to get. Oh wait, I'm jumping. I'm jumping. Let me go back. Let me go back up. Back up. I jumped too far. Um, Before that happens, actually, while they're at the place they're supposed to be at to pick up the possession that she needs to be able to um, get the ticket, while they're in there, there's a lady in there being straight rude. I mean, being real rude to the worker to the point where Teddy was like, "Excuse me." He went over there and told her pretty much, "Get your butt in line. Like all this you doing, unnecessary. Get in line like everybody else. Everybody else in here gotta wait. You gotta wait. Get in line." So Layla tries to encourage Teddy to go and get the young lady's number because she was like, the young lady, she was sweet on you. She liked you, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, girl, uh-uh. All the while, Teddy don't want her number because he want to talk to Layla, but he don't He don't express that just yet. Like you can tell, you can kind of tell it's building up to where Teddy kind of want to holler at Layla, but he not sure if that's what he should be doing because she gives him a little pep talk, a little coach. And I'm gonna play the little clip for you guys because it was the cutest thing to see. So I'm gonna play the clip for you guys and everything.
That look says, I know you're ridiculously out of my league, but you're just too amazing to not give a shot. That's the look.
Um, but so after that happened, he went over there, he talked to her, and then the young lady was like, "How about I'll just hook y'all up?" So she went and got what they needed, and when she was bringing it to him, Layla was telling Teddy like, "I can't take it." Like this man and his son was telling her a sad story about his wife and how he really truly wanted to surprise her with something because she had just got over being ill and he really wanted to make her Christmas special. And Layla was like, "You know what? You can have it. Don't worry about it." And Teddy's like, "What are you doing? This was your ticket. This was your ticket to get your ticket." And she's like, "Chewy, I'll figure out another way to get it." So after that, Teddy and Layla basically continue to spend more time together while they're trying to find her a ticket, right? During this time, the Pentatonics group, they're invested now. They're invested in Layla and Teddy and Layla and James's story. They're so invested into it. And Teddy's giving them updates after updates after updates about what's going on. So they're invested at this point. Everybody, Becca invested, the Pentatonics group, they invested, everybody invested in they business. And they like you know, whose side we on. We on team uh Jayla or team Taylor. You know, James and Layla, Teddy and whatever. Uh, but Teddy and Layla, like I said, they're spending more time together. Layla wants to kind of just give up. She's just like, maybe it's not meant to be. At first, she was all the universe, 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 and now she's like, forget it. The whole time, though, guys, and I failed to mention this in the beginning, Teddy and Layla, Teddy remembers Layla, but he can't remember where he remembers her from. But he remembers her face. And he's like, I know you from somewhere. I know I do. And Layla's like, mm-mm. The whole time, though, they can't, he can't remember where he remembers her from, and she clearly doesn't remember him at all because she's so smitten by James that she can't even fathom to think of where she might have ran into Teddy at. And while they're on this journey and spending all this time together, they're in this like romantic buggy ride thing together. There's a gentleman who's got a horse that's pulling the carriage, if you will, and they're in this little romantic thing. And he ends up telling the Pentatonics like he's basically kind of starting to fall for Layla. Like he's starting to like her, but he wants to do everything he can to help her get the ticket to find the man she wants. But deep down inside, he he's really starting to like Layla. This is when the movie starts to get um this is when the movie starts to get really cute at this point. Really, really cute at this point. It was already cute moments in there, but this is really when it starts just getting cuter and cuter. Um, but like I said, while they on their romantic ride throughout New York, he tells Pentatonics like, "Yo, I like this girl." So they end up going back, I believe, to Roxy's place, I believe. And Teddy ends up cooking Roxy and Layla and himself, of course, a dinner. And this is when they find out Teddy can cook. And Layla and Roxy, he's showing off the muscles. And they like, okay. And then he turns his back and then they turn around look at his backside and they like, okay. And um of course, typical girl things, a gorgeous man with a nice body, you're going to be like, okay. And pause the episode real quick. Now, I have my boo bear, I have my love, right? But I ain't blind, as he would like to say. I ain't blind, I can see. And I'm gonna just keep it a buck. DeVal Alice or DeVale. DeVal, I think it's DeVal. If some people call him DeVale, but I believe it's DeVal because that's what his wife says. DeVal, Mr. DeVal. is so gorgeous. That is a gorgeous man. Okay, very attractive man. Very much so married man too. But he's very, very gorgeous, very attractive man. And his wife is a beautiful woman. Beautiful woman. They make such a beautiful couple, inside and out, because you see the raw. It, not we not about them. Back to the movie. I'm sorry. Just wanted to bring that up. I'm sorry, but yes, he's a very gorgeous man. Um, so I was just thinking to myself, because he's gorgeous, and if I'm not mistaken, I think Chris Milian either is married or has been married. I wondered. Hold on, I'm gonna get to that in a second. I'm gonna I'm gonna get to. Let me finish recapping the movie. Anyway, um, during their dinner, Teddy basically lets them know the reason why he didn't pursue being a chef is because his mother felt ill. He had to come back and take care of mom. And they like, oh, so selfless, cute, love, beautiful. While they're having their conversation, his cousin Jordy hits him up like, "Cuz, I got a ticket for you if you want to come to your mama's house and come get it." And of course, Layla needs this ticket, so Layla and Teddy they pick up, zoom off, and y'all, when I knew he was coming to that screen, like I said, Kaylin Allen is an old high school a buddy of mine. I still consider him a friend to this day. When I knew he was coming to the screen, I'm not gonna lie, I grinned. I grinned, y'all, cause I'm all for people prospering in life and growing. So it grinned. I was ready to see him in action, and he did not disappoint me. I will say that he did not disappoint. But anyway, um, Teddy and Layla head to his mother's house, and they find out that Jordy had a little trick up the sleeve in a way for them to get the ticket. So Jordy didn't have a ticket directly, but he had the key to get a ticket basically. So um, Teddy and Jordy have a little handshake. Jordy's real name is Jordan, but we call him Jordy in the movie. They have a little handshake that they do because they're cousins. Teddy and Jordy are cousins. So they do the handshake, in which you might see the little clip somewhere appear. It's the cutest little handshake. But they do the handshake, and Teddy and Layla are like, okay, where's the ticket? And Jordy's like, y'all gotta y'all gotta rehearse to get this ticket. They like rehearse, and he like, yeah, yeah, y'all gotta rehearse. So they get in rehearsal mode, and Jordy becomes the coach. He's coaching them on how to dance. And like I said, y'all might be seeing little small clips on why I'm talking. And I won't the audio probably won't play unless I decide to put a clip in for the audio to play a little bit here and there. But anyway, turns out um the only way Layla can get this ticket is if Jordy one can coach them into getting this routine down packed. Um, in which I'm gonna play a little bit of the clip for y'all. Hold on. 7, 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 5, 6, your turn. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 and 8, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, next up, next. So the they have to lip sync and dance at the snowball competition. It's a winter fest competition where they lip sync, dance, and win good prizes. And just so happening, first place is eligible to win a Pentatonics concert ticket, right? Um, at this point, they're getting coached by Teddy, as y'all got, not Teddy, by Jordy, as y'all got to see in that clip. There, that was the famous scene from the movie that just, in my opinion, went a little viral. But they're getting coached, and eventually Teddy's mom's like, "Okay, you gotta take a break because I need my creme brulees made, baby." So Teddy and Layla and Jordy take a break, and they go make creme brulees for his mom. Then they have this cute little moment where Teddy and Layla are making creme brulees together, and you know they're starting to become more and more attached and close to each other. Um, like I said, they had a cute little cooking scene, and it eventually gets interrupted, and before it does, Layla does tell Teddy like, you really should go after your dream. Like, go after your dream. You want to be a chef, go after it. And Teddy's mama's like, what she said, because I'm not sick, baby. You can go on about your day now. Mama's fine. Go chase your dream. And let me check and make sure this thing is still recording. I can't see it through the door. Yeah, it's still recording. Okay, I'm almost done too. Got like 10 minutes left. And Jordy's like, okay, enough of the jibber jabber. Back to rehearsal. Let's go. And then it skips to the next morning where wakey, wakey. Then it skips to the next morning where they are now going to the snowball competition, right? While they're entering in the snowball competition, they run into they're in there talking and whatnot, and Layla is allergic to tree nuts and peanuts, right? Or nuts in general, should I say? And she was getting ready to eat a cookie that was given to her, but Teddy took it and he's like, it's got nuts in it. And he like, here, eat these instead. He makes this granola mix and it's nut free and everything, which me and Layla on the same page, baby, because I'm allergic to those things too. Tree nuts, peanuts, out of there. Can't do it. But Jordy's like, But his little arch nemesis, Alan, pulls up. And Alan is played by Jose Ares. And they got a little rivalry, if you will. See, Teddy mentioned that a few years back, Jordy got banned for a year because he was slashing tires because because he won second place. And he's not a runner up type of guy. He's a first place type of guy. So he was upset and he's slashing tires. Boom, bada bing. They got him banned for a year. Now we're fast forwarding to the current year, and now he's able to not necessarily participate, but coach, if you will. And everybody's on stage doing their thing and, showing up, showing out. And now it's time for Layla and Teddy to go up next and do their thing. Now they put on a cute performance, great performance. They even shared a little at the end of their performance, which was what I consider in movies a magical kiss, a magical moment. Um, and like I said, they both put on a show. It was a nice show, cute little show. Um, I'm gonna say this: it took them forever to cave in and say little romantic moments because in his mama's kitchen, and it might have just been because they trying to be respectful. I know they felt the vibe in the kitchen because I felt the vibe in the kitchen. I felt the vibe when they was riding in the little chariot, but I digress. Um. Anyway, after the show was over, they're in the back and they talking about what just transpired. And they're like, "Yo, did you feel that? I felt that." They were getting ready to try to have another moment, but here come Roxy and Jordy. Roxy and Jordy just had to intervene, just being nosy. Okay. Mind you, like I said, they had to win the competition in order to get the ticket, right? Watch the movie to find out if they did or didn't win that competition or not. You probably would figure it out by the rest of the recap whether they did or didn't win the ticket. But after that situation, Layla and Teddy are still trying to figure out their emotions and what kind of connection that just was that they both shared. Well, Layla is getting ready for the Pentatonics concert. She's putting on that dress Natasha got her. Once again, watch the movie to find out if they did or didn't win the competition. Just because I'm telling you about the ticket doesn't mean she won, doesn't mean she lost. But watch the movie to find out if they did or didn't. Anyway, Layla and Teddy, like I said, trying to figure out their emotions. Layla's getting ready for the concert, and Teddy also is getting ready for the concert. He's playing Santa in the concert, right? But this was the Pentatonics that asked for Teddy to play Santa, cause they up to something. They got something up their sleeve as well, baby. They trying to see how this romantic thing is going to unfold, honey. They think they slick. They playing matchmaker, Cupid, and everything else under the sun is what they call themselves trying to play. Well, Roxy's helping Layla get ready for the concert, right? and they asked for a review on Teddy. Impromptu does. And Layla's getting ready to do her review, and Roxy's like, "Let me do it. You get finished getting ready." Layla just laying it all out there to Roxy, just laying it all out there. She just laying it out there, and Roxy picking up what she putting down. Like, "Oh, girl, you like him. Oh, you like him. Oh, girl, can you blame her though? Did you see them chiseled muscles on that man? Did you see the face on that man? Can you blame her? Anyway, and if you need a reminder, there's a good picture for you of what he looked like. Jesus fix it. Any- anyway, um, they both come to the conclusion that in 35 hours of spending time together with each other, they actually love each other. And I know what you're thinking. How can you fall in love with somebody in 35 hours? And I hate to say it, but it's possible. It is possible. And in 35 hours, they discovered that they both was in love with each other. And Layla discovers that she doesn't want James. She wants Teddy. So Teddy is getting ready, you know, you know, for his big umph, if you will. He's got on his Santa Claus suit and he's ready to do what he needs to do to profess his love to Layla eventually, right? Because he knows Layla is really coming to meet up with James. And he gonna try to profess his love to Layla with the hopes that she'll choose him over James. It's a toughie. He in the dumps because he ain't for sure how this gonna work out for player. But Layla, we all know Layla. She feeling Teddy now. She can care less about James. She don't care nothing about him now. Well, when Layla gets to the she when she gets ready, she's on her way to the concert. The taxi cab gets stuck in traffic. She hops out. Typical New York scene, if you ask me. She hops out the taxi cab, takes off on foot to get to the theater. She gets to the theater, and when she gets to the theater, she gets to the box office, talks about ticket, asks her how she can find Teddy, and all this other jazz. And before she got there, James was standing out front with some roses. He was standing out front. She ran right past him basically. So it was like one of these. Like as she came, he turned. It looked like that almost. And he walked off. She runs in. She's coming out. And when she comes out, it's one of these bumps. It's a bump at this point. She comes out. She bumps into him. She tells him, "I don't want you. I want another man. Sorry. See you later. Bye." And he like, "Hold on, girl." She already ran off. James wasn't even there for her. I'm gonna spoil it right now. James was there for another woman. He wasn't even there for her. So that would have been egg in her face had she actually came for James. It would have been egg in her face. That would have been horrible. This is why you don't leave it up to the universe. Because that would have been egg in her face. They should have just went ahead and he could have, well, really, he could have messaged her and been like, "I don't know if you're single, but I am no longer single. So don't show up to the Pentatonix concert looking for me." But it wouldn't have made it, of course, it wouldn't have been a movie if they would have done that. While Layla running around trying to figure out how to find Teddy because she wants to profess her love to Teddy. She running around looking for Teddy. And while she's running around looking for Teddy, she runs to the back door. She's talking to the security dude, and security dude like, "Sorry, sweetheart, I can't let you through here this way. You got to go. I can't let you through." And while she's talking to him, she hears Teddy talking. Teddy talking. She hear him. And he mentions her name. She's like, "That's me talking about Mr. Security Man. Let me through. My man is on stage. Jesus, fix it." And he like, "Your pass don't work back here. It work at the front door where you got to go." So she like, forget it. Takes off. Goes to the front like he told her to. She runs up to the front and the little bellhop boy, he like, "Where you going?" Mm-mm. She like, "I gotta get in there." He like, "Don't care. Can't go." So she pretends like it's typical movie thing. Pretends like she's not gonna go in there and waits for him to let his guard down. And next thing you know, she beelines past him, baby. He grabs that jacket. Jacket came off. That red dress was revealed. He had the coat in his hand. He like, "You know what? They don't pay me enough for this, so I don't even care. Go on about your business. When she gets in there, Teddy was professing his love to her. And when he got to the end, there was no response from her. She didn't say nothing, so he just assumed she didn't want him. So he's sadly walking off. Now the cute thing about it is Teddy's afraid of heights, right? So remember I told you Teddy had on a Santa Claus suit. And Teddy was on this the little thing that goes up and down like this. I forget the name of it, because he's gotta slide down the chimney. And he slides down the chimney, and I think I have the clip, and if I do, I'm gonna play it for y'all. But he slides down the chimney, and he's got a Santa Claus suit, and he's getting ready to start his speech. But before he could start his speech, the one of the Pentatonix members was like, "Yo, your suit," and he snatches off these gloves. And he got on this sexy ass red velvet suit. I don't care what nobody say. And the suit might have just been sexy because it was on him. I don't know, but the suit was sexy nonetheless. Okay. And that's the suit he's wearing. But like I said, he was up there professing his love. Layla comes in right when he's getting ready to walk off stage, and he's just like, "Forget it, forget about it. She don't want me." And she like, "Teddy." Teddy like, "Layla," and then they, run to each other. They have a Whitney Houston moment. "I run to you." Anyway, the last person told me don't sing no more. So I won't sing no more. Okay, I'm lying. I'm definitely gonna still sing, baby. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. But I run to you moment, right? And they just have a cute little ending. Rubber dub dub in the tub tub tub. That's not what happens, but they, hug each other, embrace each other, love on each other, and that's pretty much how the movie ends with them two together. That's how it ends. And I'm proud of myself because I didn't have to really look at my notes that much at all. So surprising. So y'all know I do a quick movie recap of where I shrink it down and tell you without recapping the entire movie what basically happened. So basically, this film is about a woman once again who is on a quest for love after going through a bad breakup with her cheating boyfriend, who didn't know she was allergic to peanuts, who didn't care, he cheated on her in her own house, and so forth. Um, but anyway, she's on a quest for love after thinking the man she was once with was going to be her forever thing. And unfortunately, he cheated on her, so it's not a forever thing. Turns out he was a short-term placeholder for the real man that she ended up desiring and ended up needing to be with. Um, she began her hopeless romantic searching to find a way to get back in contact with the man she assumed would be her forever, forever thing. Once again, turns out it's not the man that she was supposed to be with either. Her reconnection with a man she had a small bump in the road with ended up being the man that she ended up wanting to be with and had a full blown real love connection with, which is basically who she spent her 35-hour adventure with. She spent 35 hours with this one man. She learned how to she spent 35 hours with this one man. She learned to love, laugh, and bond and connect with this one man in 35 hours and fell in love. So, the main idea behind this movie to me was um, don't be so blind to what's right in front of your face because you want a specific image. You want a specific thing to be true or to be what you think it's supposed to be, and you're ignoring all the real things that you should have. Don't be so blind to that. People are very blind to true love that's right in front of their face because it doesn't look the way they thought it was supposed to look, or to a real career or to something that they really truly should be doing or having because it doesn't look the way it's supposed to look. For example, I kept putting off doing my podcasting because it didn't look the way I wanted to look, or I didn't have the right equipment to do it. That was all my excuses as to why I didn't do a podcast. Now look at me doing a podcast using an iPhone 14 and a ring light and props that I have laying around the house to do my podcasting with. And I'm proud of myself. I've made it 23 episodes, and I plan on continuing and continuing to grow and do as I shall. Um, Honestly, try not to look past things that are right in front of you guys, because when you start to look past the things that are right in front of you, it becomes the things that are what's in front of you start becoming behind you, and then at that point, you you have to turn around and take 10 steps back just to make sure you can go 12 steps forward. Sometimes it's better to look at what's in front of you and go, okay, this is in front of me, and this is probably what I need to be doing. And if it doesn't work, that doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be done in that moment, and it doesn't mean it wasn't meant to be done at all. Now, quick little sidebar that I wanted to bring up to you guys real quick before I close out the episode. The Pentatonics group is a real group, by the way. You can look them up. They're a real group. They actually had a member, A.V. Kaplan, who was the original bass member from 2011 to 2017 until he was subsequently replaced by Matt Sally. AV decided to go on his own accord and do his own thing because because reportedly, I don't know how true it is, but reportedly that the Pentatonics schedule was just a little too much demanding for him, so he needed to step down and do his own thing. And Matt Sally came in and took his place. I don't know much about the Pentatonics group, so I'm not gonna lie to you. I just seen that when I was doing my research about Meet Me Next Christmas, it popped up about that situation about the Pentatonics group, so I just thought I'd share with you guys. Well, movie crew, once again, it's been your host with the most, the real Tay Nicole. Movie crew, if you have not seen this movie yet, don't feel bad. As you found out last episode, uh, Almost Christmas had been out for about 8 years, and I had just watched it for the first time this year. So don't feel bad. But I would say this is definitely a good watch. I enjoyed it. I definitely will rewatch this movie again. It's definitely gonna go on my holiday movie list to watch. And I mean, I don't have that very many holiday movies on my holiday movie watch list. But this is definitely gonna be one of those that goes on there. Movie crew, this has been your host with the most once again, the real Tay Nicole, or excuse me, the real Taylor Nicole, that is. And I once again, Merry Christmas to all. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you all have a great New Year. Oh yeah, make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe for your girl. Also, please make sure you guys are commenting on these videos, and whether it's my shorts or these YouTube videos. Like I said, it's one subscriber in particular, Mr. Bellamy, who consistently comments on the videos and lets me know what he thinks. Do not be afraid to tell me what you guys think. Even if you only watch the first 15 minutes of the video, don't be afraid to tell me what you think. Go ahead, tell me what you think, tell me what you know, tell me how you feel, and let's keep it real with each other. And also, put in suggestions. You might see one of the movies that you suggested in an episode. In the meantime, once again, it's been your girl, the real Tay Nicole. I hope you guys have a wonderful Christmas, Happy New Year's, and I'll see you.